Okay, for people joining this live stream, we are working on cloud infrastructure for Wolfram Language, and we are first looking at, um, let's see, cloud object name format. That is is that what we're first looking at? Cloud object name format?
We could do permissions.
Okay, the actual permissions.
Yeah, the permissions ref page.
Okay, let's look at that one. Okay.
So we've added a new class to this, and the original thing we needed help with, we made some progress on that today, but basically there were just so many details to constraints that it started to get long for the reader before they got to, like the list of read, write, and execute. You can see is almost down there at the bottom of the page.
Okay.
So we've managed to shrink it quite a bit. It's a bit better.
But possible classes of users or requesters include all of these. Okay. So, well, the issue is what you want to do is you want to say up here, possible classes of users or requesters include, and then one of the things that you're giving here is this thing that is the association. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay, so you didn't list that up here. So we need to, you did list that, but it's...
Yeah, it's the futurized one at the end.
Okay, I think... okay. I see. So those are the... Okay, fair enough. All right. Boy, well, this is fairly complicated.
Yeah.
And hopefully the examples will make it a bit clearer what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll need, lots of examples here.
Yes.
And you have pathetically few right now, it looks like.
Right. We're working on that. I can send you, well, I have a list of sort of the examples for constraints that they're not fleshed out examples. They're just sort of, here are the different formats that it takes. If that would be helpful.
Wait a minute. Okay, so this isn't right anyway. So users in a permissions group, requesters were valid. Okay, so what this is supposed to be classes of users or requesters. So this is...
and constraints kind of change what classes means, because it's properties of a request.
I understand. Yeah. Requesters let's see, satisfying constraints, satisfying specified constraints.
That's good.
Okay. So what we want to do is we want to say constraint, blah, blah, blah. I think we may need a different thing here. Okay, so what we want to say is each one is a named constraint. So it's constraint 1, value 1. Well, yeah, okay.
I was debating whether to call the keys a constraint or the rule a constraint.
I see. I think we should call them properties. Okay. Satisfying the constraints that prop I is equal to val I.
Or matches. There's wildcards that
Satisfying constraints that prop I matches val I. Okay. Okay. Possible properties for use in constraints include okay, cloud user ID. No, it's not the user ID of the requesting user.
yeah.
The inferred country, the deduced, the country inferred for the request. Country of origin inferred for the request. Let's see, the way to say this is actually, look, why don't we do this? Possible forms of constraints include, and then what we do is we say, cloud user ID arrow, and then
so a little
pattern.
lower down we have this.
I know, I'm seeing that.
Yeah, okay.
I'm seeing that.
Just making sure.
Oh, I see this here.
Yeah. The fact that that can be so complex is, and the fact that start date, end date don't really match that is what kind of makes this challenging.
Okay, hold on. So request is satisfying. Okay, all right. So then, okay. Okay, possible properties. All right. Cloud user ID of the requesting user. Okay, then we say, oh, for goodness sake. Well, let me see if I can document this. No, you know what I was going to do was right before. Okay. Oops. possible forms for defining and the association possible elements in the association possible elements to define users to define possible elements in the association defining requesters great. Okay, hold on. Elements for defining okay. Now cloud user ID doesn't have any okay. Let's call that okay. Cloud user ID of the requesting user conforms to form.
Okay.
Okay, now okay, now okay, so what this is saying is cloud user ID conforms to that. Okay. Date. Whoops. Current date is after specified date.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, okay, so now I think we say, dates are specified using date object. for cloud user ID and geolocation country following forms can be used. Okay, so I think what we should do is actually say, I would say prop arrow and then value, prop arrow, because I think it's less confusing that way.
Yeah.
Prop arrow value.
Yeah, I actually had that in my draft and I took it out later. But yeah, I agree.
Allow only the specified value. Okay, and then we're going to have that last footnote about the wildcards. Including string patterns.
Not to be taken to mean countries whose names start with M.
Yeah, I know.
But I think it's fine.
Nah, let's do that. Okay. Okay. Okay, now we've got prop arrow, disallowed arrow, value 1, ... Disallow any of the value I. Why isn't that an association? Allowed, disallowed? Should be.
Okay.
Are you sure we want disallowed rather than disallow?
I'm not sure. I haven't thought about that one.
I think we want disallow.
So allow and disallow?
That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Property is. The property is the cloud user ID is disallow. I think that's right. Okay. Yeah, this is slightly gnarly documentation. I agree. Okay. Values for cloud user ID can be given as string patterns that include wildcard okay. I think you should have something right down underneath here where you just say, I'm just going to make a sample thing here. Something about permissions, arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say all for read, write, execute here?
I think so. It might mean all of the capabilities, not just read, write, execute, but
specify that give permissions, set up permissions that allow anyone with a Wolfram.com cloud user ID all capabilities.
I think, should that just be cloud user ID? The Wolfram.com, I think, is not needed, especially since private clouds.
No. With a Wolfram.com.
Oh, for this specific example.
Cloud user ID.
right.
And I think you should have in this basic examples here, you should have a few more that just look like this.
Yeah.
Because people will understand that, you just describe what they are and give the line. Because
absolutely.
All the stuff around here is kind of irrelevant. I wouldn't do it this way. I would just show, and I wouldn't use cloud put, I would use cloud deploy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why on earth cloud publish isn't in the list of
Oh, yeah, I don't know either. Well, really, we could add all of the writing functions.
Yeah, I think we should say.
Like, I'm not sure why it needs to say Cloud Connect, actually.
I think we should say cloud deploy, cloud publish, cloud put.
There's also cloud export and a couple more, but.
Well, is cloud export affected by this? Yes.
All of the writing functions take permissions, yeah. Cloud save.
Okay, you can do
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so let's go back up here. Okay, so this goes away. That goes away. That goes away. Countries are specified as using right?
Right.
Okay, looks like we're done with this.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we tag these as 12 plus, so on. You can do that though. Okay, let's go on to the next thing before I run out of time.
Yeah, so cloud object name format then.
Okay. By the way, I think we might want, some other special cases here. I mean, this is pretty straightforward. This one here, permissions. Well, you see, I would almost argue that you should allow a string that is just an email address, an email, a list of email address. Oh yeah, an explicit list of users. You have that.
Yeah, it does that.
But can those users be wildcards?
Not currently. No.
If they could do that, then you'd be in great shape there.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, if there was then a single user that you could give, and it could be a wildcard, you could just say,
Yeah.
Sort of star@wolfram.com, arrow, read, write, execute.
Yeah. Yeah, we've noticed the sort of similarity between those user classes and the constraint that just has the cloud user ID property.
I think you should do that. I think
so yeah, if it's a wildcard, it could be a shortcut for the association.
Seems right to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to add a futurized. Well, you can remember that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cloud object name format. How many more of these do we have to do?
We have this with the $sign variable, and then cloud object URL type with its dollar variable.
Have these things been knitted onto guide pages?
I don't remember. Yeah, I'd have to check.
Okay, so remind me what these are.
So cloud object name format, it's formatting. It does two things. If it's a way to turn a named object into one whose URL is by UUID, and if it's a named object, it chooses how to format the username.
Should be formatted as an option for cloud object and related constructs that determines how related objects that determines how the object's name should be formatted should be referred to in its URL.
Yes.
Do we consider this experimental or not?
No.
Okay. Wait a minute. Isn't the default value Okay, looks reasonable enough. Shouldn't this refer to $cloud object URL type?
Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah.
Type of URL. Wait a minute, how the object's name should be formatted and how?
Yeah, that doesn't. It is part of the name.
Yeah, look, that
but,
determines
yeah, it's not quite right.
How the URL should be formatted. And related, that determines how the URL for the how the object should be named. Well, that's the structure. That determines the format. Okay, what does it affect? It affects the end of the name, right?
It doesn't affect. There's two possible outputs of this. One is a UUID, in which case it is the end. And the other one is that if it's named, then doesn't affect the path part, but it affects how the username is formatted.
Okay.
So
that determines the name portion.
Mm-hmm.
The base type of URL to, is this a formatting or to generate?
It's also formatting.
But is it generation as well? Does it affect the actual value of the URL? Or is it pure formatting? Is it the same deal about formatting?
Yeah, it's just another part of the URL.
No, but I understand that, but I'm asking if you change it, you'll get a different, okay, wait a minute. Specifies the base type of URL to generate for the object. Okay, so now, okay. Okay. So what we want to say here is used to format the URL in the cloud object expression does not change the object the object, but does not change the object itself, but does determine how the cloud system will present the object or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so that should refer to I am going to have to go in 2 minutes here. Okay, why don't you follow through on these other ones? Or did I just, hold on, I can probably do this one. Where did I have that one there?
As far as the changed in version and the knitting?
No, I'll have to do the knitting. Sorry,
Okay.
I'll have to do the knitting.
That's fine.
So default setting, what's that typical values for? You didn't finish this.
It was.
Okay, so please fill in the C alsos here, okay? And then, do you really want me to do this? Okay, I can do this. It's a couple of minutes here. Okay, so this is okay. Cloud object. Did you put these on the cloud object page? Because there are obviously options here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't put them here, did you? No, you didn't put them here.
No, it doesn't look like that.
Okay. So where else do they have to be inserted?
They are options to any function that, I think any function that produces a cloud object.
Okay, so you have to look up for these
So I'll have
cloud-based
to-
things, so on.
Yeah.
And then okay, so we're going to need to. Oh gosh.
So I see it featureized on like cloud deploy.
What does it say there for the description?
It says name format to use for the published object.
Okay. URL format. To use for the cloud object. URL format to use. What did we say here? URL format to use for the URL for the name portion of the URL.
Yeah.
And here we want to say base type of URL to use. obj, comma, env, ... right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's going to have to be copied through to different places.
Yeah, I can handle that.
Okay. Now, whew. I'm sorry, this is going to take me a little bit longer to figure out. I mean, probably this wants to be on this page. We're going to need a very brief other meeting to sort this out. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just a minute. I have to go. Okay. Let me. We'll just need just a few minutes. Why don't you go try and figure out what guide pages this belongs on?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and save all this stuff out. I will push it back right now. Okay. Should do it.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.